What's going on, everybody? What is up? I'm not sure if the music is too loud. It sounds kind of loud in my ears, so... hopefully that should be good. Hopefully that should all be good. Can you let me know if the music's too loud? Are we good? Is the music too loud? Good? Okay. Alright, chat, we're good. Alright, anyway, we're going to be playing What Remains of Edith Finch. So, I have played this before, but it's been, I think, almost 2 years since the last time I played it. I played it back in 2022. I played it on the PS4. This is the PS5 version, so I platinumed the PS4 version, so I'm excited to replay this again. I'm ready to platinum it again. We're going to be playing through the whole game, so we're probably just going to jump right into it. We're going to start a new game. Obviously, you see the whole thing. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but... This is definitely an interesting game, chat. I'm excited to replay through it. I feel like it's kind of too loud, though. Maybe it's just loud in my ears. So I don't really remember a whole lot from this game. Are we supposed to just stand up? I don't remember. Oh, here we go. We're supposed to look down. Doesn't really tell you that. What do I do? Oh, okay.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
I had a lot of fun playing this when I first played it. It looks really good. I was
11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
She wasn't allowed in half the rooms.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Let's turn up sensitivity a little bit. Is there sensitivity? Maybe there's not.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Which path? I don't remember. I think I took this path the first time I played this, so I'm gonna go this way. How do I run? I don't think I can run, can I?
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
A few hoof prints? Where'd you go?
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
This game is very deep, too.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Such a crazy looking house. Let me turn brightness up. Do halfway. Missing. Yeah, honestly, guys, I don't really remember a whole lot.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
I mean, I'd be afraid of it too. I mean, look at it. And the house is creepy. I don't remember if the key works.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Of course. Of course not.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Alright, I gotta remember where to go. I think it's the other way. Let's try this one.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Alright, we made it in the house. They left the freezer open. What are we doing? Okay. Alright, in we go. What is this? Let's turn this light on.
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
It's fine. What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
That's a lot of salmon, though.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine great.
I'm gonna try not to miss anything, but if I miss anything, I can always
Nothing
go
in the
back.
house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
I mean, yeah, it's not really creepy on the inside.
Even the fireplace had a story.
It looks weird on the outside, though.
Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Like, it's such a weird-shaped house, and it has such a weird layout.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Okay. Did I explore everything down here? What is this?
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
try this door.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Alright, let's head upstairs.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Alright, let's not go in here yet. Because I think that's the,
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with.
I think that's like the
if she hadn't
checkpoint.
died in 1947.
She was only 10 years old. It's so sad.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
So many books. I forgot it has another upstairs, like an attic area. We got Barbara.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
They were only a year old. 1976 to 1977.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
I want to make sure I checked out all the rooms. Pretty sure I did. I think I checked out. Yeah, I checked out Barbara. Can we go up here yet?
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Okay. Let's go through that door. I think that's the way we're supposed to go, but I'm not 100% sure.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Such an empty room.
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
I like the wallpaper, though. I think it looks really cool. Alright, let's
Lewis
do
told
this.
me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
There we go. The key works.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door.
This is such a cool, like, narrative game. It's such a cool story behind it. It's very sad, but it's a really cool story.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here, before my mom sealed the doors.
Here's Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Alright, I'm hungry. So what am I gonna eat? We're not gonna eat Goldie. What is this?
My Halloween candy was all gone.
No, not the Halloween candy. Is the door locked?
Mom,
Nope.
can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
But I'm hungry.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Not the gerbil food.
I ate a lot of things that night.
That doesn't even sound appetizing.
I kept eating and eating.
Toothpaste? Where's that sound?
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Even got the windows chained up and everything.
And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
That's just sad.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now
go?
I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I was lost for a minute.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
So we're looking for rabbits. Come here, rabbit.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I
Well, that's
didn't
nice.
chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
First time I played this, chat, I was so confused.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Not the flipper. Get over here.
I grabbed on tight, but I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Sounds so slimy.
I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
I think we're supposed to go around. I don't think you could get in that way, but...
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? His belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, in the morning. What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
This thing's a little hard to control.
With a drunken sailor, what shall we do with a drunken sailor?
I love this game. Yeah, it's a good game. It's my second time playing it.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
I'm trying to remember what I'm supposed to do. Oh, here we go.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have. So
This
I
is one of
swam towards
Cheyenne's favorites, too.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Yeah, it is a very sad game. It's got a good message behind it, though.
I got closer and closer.
I'll check my messages. What am I supposed to be doing? I don't remember. Alright, here we go.
All of my stomach started growling. It's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Such a crazy looking house.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a
Turn the brightness up. Yeah, I can turn it up.
dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Is that better?
She could have, but she didn't.
I think that looks better now. I thought it looked a little dark.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
I'm gonna check this out first over here before I go out there.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
The wood painting? What was this other door over here? I can't go out that way yet. I was thinking there was something over there, but... Alright, let's go through here.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
This bathroom is crazy.
It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
There's other stuff in the bedroom? I didn't see anything else in there.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Camera. I think we're supposed to be looking for a camera.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
This is such a cool room.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
Such a
That
crazy
day,
spot to have
he
a
finally
swing.
made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
It's low-key kind of making me sick a little bit.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd
He is
still be here.
hauling.
But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Yeah, I don't like this one either. That is crazy.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
That's such a sad, like, unfortunate thing, you know?
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
That's sad.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again. The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
I just want to open it. I'm gonna go this way, though. I think that's the way I'm supposed to go.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
I remember this part.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her
This one is
scream.
weird.
Now at 16, she was all
Yeah, this
washed
one's
up,
definitely weird
a
for sure.
has-been.
I thought it was pretty
But
cool,
in a
though.
lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven, He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was canceled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
I love that I get to, like, kind of control it, you know? Got that Halloween theme music going on.
And imagine the worst.
Hold up. I gotta turn off vibration. I forgot that I had it on. I'm gonna knock all this stuff off. Trying to knock them all in. So what am I supposed to do? I think I was... Wait, I can't go through that one. I think I was supposed to go through this door. Right?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
I'm kind of afraid I'm going to get copyright for this. I don't know if I should turn it off, but it should be alright.
Finch rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
We're heading upstairs. Is it this way?
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the Hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And clean he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Through the window, maybe? Alright, here we go.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Take that.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be
I forgot that he
yet.
falls all the way down. And he's gone.
Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Better go check the door.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara.
This one is very weird for sure.
Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Her
Now,
ear?
that's what I call a real eerie tale.
What a story. What a
Edie
story.
told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending. I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Where is the music box? Did I just walk by it? Trying to remember where it's at.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Wait, am I walking by it? Am I crazy? Music box.
Downstairs.
Oh, it's downstairs?
Downstairs.
Oh, I thought it was up here.
It's down there. Go around the stairs.
I got it. There it is. For some reason, I thought it was upstairs. We got the key.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Another tetanus shot.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
I remember this one too.
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
So much stuff down
I
here.
think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
I love me some peaches.
And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was,
1976
it
to
was
2005.
maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
You can see how much things have changed.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
Just by looking
I'm
at his
done
arms.
waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
I actually really hate this one, honestly. This one's really sad. Which way do I go? Oh, here. It's going crazy.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same
one.
day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't like
Even
this
if it
one very
kills me.
much. This one's sad.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
This is definitely a game that
I'm going to appreciate all of it.
really can get the
especially
emotions
food.
flowing, you know?
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
That's so sad. So
Walter
sad.
died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
You just hid down here all those years.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Wow.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
I think I'm supposed to go up the stairs, I believe.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
You still in here, Spicy? I'm supposed to go this way? Yeah.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the
That is
gerbils
so
are mine.
depressing.
2 had been my fault.
1956 to 1969, 1985 to 1993. There's so many. Burpy, Derpy, Derpy Jr., Chirpy, Furpy, Lurpy, and Zerpy. Not Coco. What's the name of my dog?
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
We got Barbara, Walter, Edie, and Sven. Calvin, and Molly.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Let's check it out.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Am I supposed to... I think we're good.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Sanjay and Lewis.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Up we go.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Forgot she was pregnant. That's crazy. I completely forgot that she was pregnant. That's crazy.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Hey, Chromosome.
They were both pretty intense.
Rawr. Sorry, I had to do that. I'm so confused.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? What? Am I gonna?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this
I love this part because I
Dad.
like taking pictures.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
Where's he at?
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
What am I supposed to take a picture of?
Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
More interesting.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip.
Isn't there supposed to be
Your
like a
grandpa's fan taught
bird
us how
or
to
something,
fish.
or like a deer maybe?
How to build a fire.
I don't remember.
We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
There were deer. Okay.
I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
He's talking about a buck. Where is it at?
Give me a minute to check the map. Let's see.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. Yeah, that's not it.
Maybe.
It's supposed to be a deer somewhere, but I don't remember where it's at.
Or was it? Could have been.
Am I like going right over it? Am I going crazy? Oh,
Dad!
Good eyes,
I just had to
Dawn.
look up. What am I doing?
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination.
I just had to look up.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
Oh. That would suck. I completely forgot about that. That's such a crazy thing to capture, too.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
That's such a, like, crazy way to go. Like, that's insane.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
I think we're supposed to go this way.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
I don't know which one to do first. I think I'll just do Gregory first. I don't think it really matters, but...
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
How are you liking Bioshock? Spicy?
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
How did I miss that?
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand.
I love it.
Gregory.
It's a really good game.
Not everything.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
But I know what happened.
I haven't played it in a really long time. I should replay through it.
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
The second one is kind of boring already. Yeah, I haven't played the second one in a long time. I don't really remember a whole lot. I don't remember a whole lot from that one.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Which one am I supposed to... I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met. Wait, what am I doing wrong? Chairs? Huh?
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered
There
him
we
to
go.
come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went.
It's a good
But all
game
the
to make
humans did
interesting
that day was
jokes,
go
though.
inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you. She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Is it this way? I think. Yeah.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Wind's starting to pick up.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost
Such a
normal.
cool area up here.
But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
It'd be so cool to chill in there.
The magic paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Wait, did I go the right way?
Whatever Milton had found in the
Yeah.
house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
What's up here? There's nothing up there. This room is dope. Yeah, I know. These rooms are like really cool. Like all of them are like so cool and like unique.
Lewis's room smelled
Like they all
very,
have their own like
very
cool
familiar.
things about it.
That part of him lived on.
It's got the hookah. Like, that's awesome. I love the, like the posters and stuff. What's in here? Doesn't even look like anything's in there.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
The Wonderland Turbo. Got the high school diploma. That'd be such an awesome view. That's awesome. That's crazy though.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same
I forgot
behavior.
about this one.
His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats and toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. And he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Did I go the wrong way? Oh, here we go.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Tokyo. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
I always thought this part was really cool too.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
She yelling at me?
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a...
Let's go handsome queen.
Handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for...
Let's go sinister serpents.
Sinister serpents.
We're already heading that direction anyway.
He followed the sound of her
silver harp.
Silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Chopping fish all day.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
There's his locker.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker.
A lot of this stuff I don't remember.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Am I supposed to go up here?
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
This one was so interesting.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Wow. Wow. How many more we got?
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Looks like we got 2 more.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Look at all those missing papers.
But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end.
The louder we go.
All that's left now.
Yeah, this place is cool too.
Last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
What am I supposed to be doing?
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches by
Dear
Edith Finch.
There's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
I can't see.
I got turned around. I started seeing things.
Just follow the deer.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
We're just trying to read it.
I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot.
I hate this part.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
So sad.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Why do I do this to myself? Like, why do I do this to myself? Now I'm gonna be, like, sad and depressed for the rest of the night. Why do I do that to myself? For Shirley Dallas. 1948 to 2013. Ay, ay, ay. I completed that in under 2 hours. I honestly thought it was going to take me longer than that. I don't know if I can skip this, can I? I think this is really cool. Like, I like how it shows, like all the baby pictures of, like, everybody that worked on the game. Yeah, I'm surprised I finished it as quick as I did. I don't even know how many trophies I got. I'm gonna check real quick, actually. So I want to try and platinum the game. Let me see. Trophies. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to take a picture of the rabbit outside Odin Finch National Park. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to replay through this and platinum it again. But anyway, chat, I think I'm going to probably get out of here for the night. I don't really have anything else planned. I didn't think I was going to beat the game as quick as I did. But we did hit under the 2 hour mark. Not by much, but I had a lot of fun playing this game. It's always fun coming back to this game, and I don't know why I do that to myself. It's a very sad and depressing game, but it's always cool to see the stories and how they all unfold. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here for the night. I'll be back on Monday. Not sure what we're going to be playing yet. Probably going to be a new game. I don't think I'm going to continue playing Dead Island 2. I just don't really think that it's really all that fun to stream. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to play on Monday. And it might be like a new horror game. Not sure yet. I was thinking of bringing some horror games back on the channel and stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun. Play some like new horror games. Maybe finish like Outlast or something. Or maybe start it over. I feel like Outlast would be kind of fun. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here for the night. I'll be back on Monday. I appreciate all the love and support. I appreciate all the new follows, all the subs, all the donos, everything that you guys do. I appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys on Monday.